Hi, I'm Dan Ginden, and this is A Day in the Life. We give you a behind-the-scenes look at people who have really interesting jobs. Now, we're not saying that you don't have an interesting job, but let's be honest, these are just a little cooler. Today, we went behind the scenes of Fright Fest at Six Flags New England. Sure, this park has rides that people consider to be scary all season long, like Goliath or Bizarro. But Fright Fest, you have no idea what you're in for. Here is Alicia Brandt with the story. Yes, Alicia, not me. Why? Because as soon as she found out we were going, she took over my crew and my show.
Six Flags New England is a great place to be during the summer, but their Fright Fest that runs every fall is a great reason, in case you needed one, to come back to this thrills and chills theme park.
Not only are we New England's largest haunt event with 24 different attractions, we are also New England's largest theme park, the coaster capital of New England. We have over 60 attractions at this property, coasters, flat rides, the most intense rides like the brand new New England Sky Scream at over 400 feet in the air. And during Fright Fest, it's actually operating backwards. So there is so much to do, whether it's for the kids, family, or teens, adults, it doesn't matter. There's something here for everybody.
Jennifer McGrath is the communications manager for Six Flags New England, and this 9-year vet loves her job.
Theme park gets into your blood, and there's nothing like working with coasters, massive pieces of steel that are behind me, and then scaring people throughout Fright Fest. So I mean, we're very lucky, we're very blessed, and we all do not take it for granted because we want to make sure our guests have the best experience.
Jennifer is part of the full-time management team at Six Flags New England. For them, it's a year-round job that has them working together on projects to constantly improve the park.
Everything we do, such as Fright Fest or opening Hurricane Harbor, New England's largest water park, or the theme park itself, we all need to be on board and getting the project done together, and it's really a magical experience of the talent that we all get to work with.
They're good.
We met up with some of that talent in Peter Shannon and Eric Boucher. When do they start thinking about Fright Fest? Try March.
We'll start brainstorming ideas that we're looking at. And then during the year, we slowly start working with maintenance on coming up with designs and those kinds of things for the new attractions we're going to do, like the Aftermath that we did down in the woods behind our picnic grove this season. All during, say, May, June, and the beginning of July, we were in design phase and then started building it towards the end of July and beginning of August. And with that said, too, we start looking for our monsters at the end of July, and we'll hire upwards of 200 people for Fright Fest for all of the haunted attractions, all the ones that are on the midways of the park scaring guests, plus all of our shows, including our magic show, our musical review, the kids shows that we do. So all of those performers work into our number as well.
Peter oversees much of what goes on at the park during Fright Fest. He has a great team that works for him, one of which is Eric, the production coordinator. Graveyard Groove, a monster review, has been one of his projects in which he has put a lot of work.
We're very proud of this. This is our brand new show. I personally wrote and directed this one, helped create it, but working with our choreographer, our vocal coach, our tech team, they made me real proud. This is a brand new live singing, comedy, dancing, lights, and it's enjoyed by the whole family. So far, the guest reaction has been fantastic.
Eric works closely with the actors. He also writes and produces many of the acts you see during Fright Fest. Working here for the last 20 years gives you an idea that Eric really loves his job.
We're producing at a very fast pace, and you get that instant feedback from the guests. You get to see what you did, what works, what doesn't work. We get to tweak scripts in real time, and we get that laughter, that screams, the applause right there in real time. So it's very fulfilling to see your work just come to life in such a fast-paced environment. And to work with the collaborative team here, it's awesome. I work with some of the best people.
Since Eric showed a lot of passion in his interview while talking about Fright Fest, We figured he'd be the perfect person to give us a lights-on tour of Midnight Mansion.
Hi, welcome to Midnight Mansion. Want to go on a behind-the-scenes tour? Show you around. First room here is our spiel room. This is where you are welcomed, given the rules of the house by one of our actors, and told the story. This is the mansion of Lord Vincent Faustus. We're here to celebrate a great life and an even better death. So we go right on to start that with the funeral parlor. Keep in mind as we do this, the house lights are on right now and not any of our stage lighting or special effects, because we want to give you guys a behind the scenes look here. There is an actor, live actor here, who's kind of presiding over the ceremony. Everyone is here to celebrate Vincent Faustus, the manor of the house. A lot of these props will be either air triggered. We have sensors throughout that will make some of them automated. Some of them are triggered by the actor. And once again, this does look quite different during the night. This room specifically is also part of our Houdini ride, which already lent itself to some great theming. We transform it for the fall into this haunted attraction. There you are. This is our art gallery. This is where an actor would stand. If you want, come over here, I'll show you how it works. An actor is simply behind this wall, and we have these drop panels with a release. And there's little peepholes right here that the actors can see. And when the actor's right in front of them, there they go. Makes a great noise. They get to make a sound coming out of it, and then they can come through this curtain to get them that way too. This whole house is actually full of lots of secret passages, curtains, where one actor can hit 3 or 4 rooms at a time. Next up is the parlor, the gaming room. This is full of a lot of cool artifacts. Some of these props actually came from old shows we used to do here at the park. Some of them were bought through Fright Fest, Scare Fair type trade shows. Some of them are tag sale finds. We have some taxidermy. Some of this is animatronic and will drop with air compressors. There's a great soundtrack that happens in here, and we have usually 2 actors in here that welcome you for a glass of sarsaparilla or blood. Next up, we have the living room, a resting parlor. We have a few animatronics in here. An actor might also be in here. And once again, we have cut-throughs of curtained areas so actors can keep jumping in and out of here. Up here, we have a looping video, a very subtle effect, but it's one of my favorite things in the house. Moving portrait of Lord Faustus and Mrs. Faustus and some of the party guests trapped in the picture frame. I like the details. Sometimes guests are moving too fast here to notice it, which is a good thing. The last room in the first half of the house is the attic, the storage room. And a lot of these trunks are animated. They're not moving now because the effects are off, but there's a lot of triggered effects in here through sensors, and some of them are triggered by the actors. The actor from the saloon we just saw can come through this curtain and either appear in the trunk, or they can slam that and make a great noise to scare people as a distraction for this animated prop, which is also triggered by a sensor. After you come out of the first half of the house, you go into the graveyard and then into the garden of Midnight Mansion. Out here you might find werewolves, zombies, corpses, some freshly dug up coffins. There is also a few animated props in here and a few sensors. People hanging around. So the first room in the second half of the house is our door maze. Every room is 13 or some variation of 13. And we have at least one actor who's dedicated to this room. And some of these doors slide open, slam shut, and they can work both sides of it. And going again, what I said earlier about the secret passages, an actor from another room can also add to some of that chaos. So as you go in here, you hear doors creaking, slamming open, shut. There's an air effect here that's triggered off automatically. And right away you know that the energy is a lot more frantic than you might find out in the graveyard. Right after the door maze, you come here into Baby Jane's room. This is one of the more memorable rooms of the house. We have an actress playing a young, spoiled brat starlet, jumping on the bed, popping in and out of dressers, cabinets. Some of her toys come to life, springing off the wall. This whole room is done in fluorescent paint, and we light it with black lights, so the whole thing has this purple, pinkish glow. We also put some sensors into the room that are aroma sensors, and this right here will pump out a subtle scent of cotton candy. We have these throughout the house, and the scents are everything from cotton candy, and then the next scent that you'll get is actually called rotting corpse, and we have rotten fruit. And so just the juxtaposition of those senses kind of messes with people a bit. But yeah, the actress has a lot that they can do in here. They have all these secret passages that they can come up, jump out through the bed, go around, get them around the other side. They can actually pop out of here, through that cabinet, and this one actress can get the group a few times. So next up here is the kitchen. This is where all the meals are prepared for the mansion. Fresh meat, bones, some rotten flesh, extra hands. We'll have a butcher in here, an actor playing a butcher, chopping up the meat, maybe making some of our guests next on the menu. And once again, we have a customized soundtrack to hear, and some other pop-up effects throughout the room. We come into the mad scientist laboratory. You see some of his patients, some of his experiments. Some of these are also animatronic, triggered off by some sensors. We also have another aroma pumped in here. And we talked about tag sale finds. Some of the props we do buy through catalogs, but some of them are just going to yard sales and tag sales. This is one that my boss Pete found, and this is an actual autopsy table that we found, and here it is in our mad scientist lab. Leaving the mad scientist lab, one of the last rooms the guests see is the root cellar. This is where some of the victims are kept. We'll have an actor in here chained up. That actor can also hit that door, which brings you right back to the door maze. And they also have this cut through that they can then come unchained and scare our guests. And that brings you right back to the door maze. So it shows you how the mysteries of the mansion, we can have a great ensemble of actors, make it seem like there's 3 or 4 times as many people inhabiting this house as they sneak in and around all the secret passages and corridors. And then last corridor we go through is the escape tunnel here, which is infested by spiders and other cobwebs. And that's our last shot right out the door here.
I'm sure you are thinking what our crew did walking through the Midnight Mansion with the lights on. This isn't scary. Well, it's a much different situation with the lights off and the monsters prowling.
Enjoy your stay.
What would Fright Fest be without zombies and ghouls and various other creatures? Six Flags New England brings in hundreds of people to help make a visit to the park even more memorable for their guests. Enter Frank Maturo and Milta Vargas. Milta has been dressing up for 11 years now, and she has loved every minute of it.
I love to scare people. There's just something about making somebody scream, jitter, hover in fear, and just the laugh, but then they come back to you, they're like, thank you for that, they thank you for the scares.
One of the best things about Milta is the way she transforms herself on a nightly basis. For her, no character is ever the same.
I'm a different person every time. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm a different character, from Demon District to Main Street, Dead Bride, Mansion.
So you've been doing this for the past 11 years. Is there something that I know you said that you love to scare, but is there something that keeps you coming back for more every year?
It's the creativity, and then the people that you work with here. They're amazing, their talents, the support that we get from the actual, your bosses and leads and everybody. It's really cool.
Milta's sometimes complex characters can mean a lot of time in the makeup chair. But she says that is never a problem with the crew of Six Flags New England.
These guys are amazing. With the makeup, they're quick. It's like you're in and out of the chair. It depends on the complexity of the prosthetic that I'm using. It's for it to dry, and they got their blow dryers. You're looking at maybe half an hour, if not less. But they can pop somebody out of a chair in 15 minutes and get them out of here. But mine are sometimes a little complicated because of the prosthetics and wigs, and you'll see me later and you'll be like, that's the same person I spoke to earlier, on the techniques that they use, but it's pretty much in and out pretty quick.
As soon as she was out of that chair, Milta headed off to the Midnight Mansion to put a little scare into the evening for some guests.
Somebody want to be the leader instead of me? I'll be the leader! You want me to be the leader? I'll be your leader! Hello! Who's the leader? I'll be your leader! Don't go out there if I was you! Look at my arms! Covering your ears won't help. It didn't work for me.
If only plastic surgery was this quick and painless.
When Frank sits down in the makeup chair, he will cease to be himself and become Wolf Jackman, a friendly monster that takes part in some Halloween-themed shows around the park. This is Frank's first time with Six Flags.
And that's one of the things that's great about Six Flags is, especially when you're around guests and stuff, you are the wolf. I mean, it is who you are. It's your new identity, and it's not just a mask, because it really is your face. It's not just like at Halloween you buy a cheap plastic mask and you put it on for fun. No, I mean, I'm the wolf, and that's how I take it. I take it that seriously.
As you can tell, the makeup artists do a great job. They also have an open line of communication with the actors.
If they come in with a good idea, we can help bring that idea to life. And so it's cool to get feedback from the actor if they have like a cool concept to try to execute that well.
I've been to multiple makeup artists in the few weeks I've been here, and everyone here has done a great job. John, Brett over there has done my makeup, Alex Squires, April's done my makeup, and all of them have just been phenomenal.
Once Frank's transformation is complete, he heads to the stage of Graveyard Groove.
We come out of makeup and now we make our way through the park. We actually have to walk through the park to get to our stage, which is really cool because the guests kind of get like a preview. And right now we are just ourselves. We're not wolf yet because we're not in full costume, but once in full costume we are I'm the wolf, and that's what I'll be for the rest of the night. But right now, just another Six Flags team member, and here to help out the guests if they have questions or anything. But we make our way through Demon District, and we come up this way and head towards Rockville and the Roswell Area 51. And it's just fun to see guest reactions, and kind of give them that preview of what's to come, especially with the Awakening, but even our show, because we have earlier shows in the day at 2:30 and 4 o'clock, which is really cool because sometimes kids aren't, parents don't want to keep them here late, and so they still, and we're the Friendly Monsters. We're in Kidsopolis, so that's the hangout for the kids. And we can still perform for them, interact with them. We have meet and greets afterwards at our shows, which is awesome to take pictures, and it's just so much fun. The kids just really get into it, which is great.
Even though Frank's alter ego has taken over, Wolf Jackman agreed to show us around backstage.
So welcome to backstage of Graveyard Groove at Six Flags New England. This is the dressing room where the cast gets prepared and the wolf becomes fully wolf. But then as the show begins and the pre-show starts to end, we make our way into the Graveyard Groove set. So we come this way. Now we make our way backstage at Graveyard Groove. But for me, it's home. In the tunnel here, well, it's really a cave. I await my awakening from Doug, the gravedigger. It's become a pretty comfortable place for me the last few years. It's a little dark usually, but after a while you kind of find your wits and instinctively know where to and where not to go. So I wait here and I hear the call from my leader, Dougie Howler, and then I make my way out into the graveyard through the tunnel and out into the scene. And here we are at Graveyard Groove at Six Flags New England. The graveyard is such an intricate place, such a beautiful place, yet horrible at the same time. These steps lead up to the balcony where the beautiful Bella, our vampiress, enters. The mausoleum doors, where not many know what awaits behind them, but Fred Astaire tumbles through and makes his way out. And then this very mysterious yet beautiful tomb that none of us know what awaits behind the doors. But Doug will be sure to find out when he unleashes what awaits.
There's no going back.
Mark my words, this love will make it levitate. You lit a fire, right me on the neck. Come down to earth. If you choose to walk away, don't walk away. You're in the palm of her hand now, baby.
Still to come on A Day in the Life?
They probably have a chainsaw.
Chainsaws, zombies, and the apocalypse. Oh my.
And we're out. You got plans?
You bet. $50 million Americans struggle with hunger, but we can do something about it.
Excuse me.
What's going on?
Dinner. Please join me in helping put food on their tables. Together, we can feed America.
You guys keep going. I'm gonna get the plates.
Plates?
Find your local food bank at feedingamerica.org/hunger.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning. 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash? 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Now, some action from the courts. Billie Jean King renewing her rivalry with Arthritis. First set, furious volley, and right to the net for a winner. Beautiful forehand there. Arthritis, stunned. And here, match point. Billie Jean with the ace, taking it in straight sets. Afterwards, a jubilant Billie Jean King.
Tennis is a weapon for me with arthritis. There's nothing like it for me to hit a ball, run to the ball, anytime, any court. I'm ready. Let's go.
What's your weapon against arthritis? Find out at fightarthritispain.org.
Quiet, please. Wait a sec. I'll take one. Oh, yeah. All right. All good. Take care. Way to go. Nice. Bring it on. Gotcha. I'm here for you. Oh no. Please, please, please. I'm waiting. Interesting. Not buying it. Not fair. That's it. This conversation is over. Oh, brother.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things.
I'm having a stroke. I'm having a stroke.
Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. F. Face drooping. A. Arm weakness. S. Speech difficulty. T. Time. Time to call 911 immediately. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Learn the body language, the sudden signs, and spot a stroke fast.
I'm Dan Ginden, and you are watching A Day in the Life. If you are just joining us, we have seen Midnight Mansion and some of the monsters that lurk around the park. Now it's time to go behind the scenes of some more haunted attractions.
Total darkness completely blinds you as you make your way through a haunted maze. Now we go back to Eric Boucher for a lights-on tour.
Here we are at Total Darkness. This was a new attraction that we put in 2013. This year we made it even better. We added more effects, more tricks to it. And what you do is you go through this attraction with holding onto a rope in a smaller group. It plays on your fear of the dark, claustrophobia, and we have actors in here all wearing black jumpsuits so you don't even see them as they're popping out, knocking on walls, and seeing what is right behind you. So then they enter total darkness, especially with the light outside. It makes it more jarring once they come inside. There's very minimal props in this attraction, and that's on purpose. But we did add some barrels, some other obstacles, and anywhere you see some of this vinyl, that's an opportunity for an actor to jump out. And they also have some effects that are triggered by the actor. And this will hit an air effect. There it is. And that also gives you a photo op too, so you have a great picture at the end if you wish to purchase. We have fishing line through the whole attraction to give you that cobweb feel. Some very bare minimal lighting through rope lighting, and also some flame effects, some more air effects. Some of these are triggered by actors, some of them are triggered by sensors that you see throughout the attraction. And once again, we have cut-throughs, just like some of our other attractions, that the actors can go through and see. And most of our hiding areas for actors also have peepholes so they can see when the guests are through. Through this attraction, we have wall knockers. They're actually pneumatic devices on the other side of these walls that actually will just sit there and hammer on the wall. You'll see that going through. Cobwebs, and we're walking through probably faster than most guests do because they're holding onto that rope, not sure what's going around the corner. So this will be one of our actor hiding spots. For their safety, they have a map of the whole attraction with all our emergency exits. And this is a drop box. You have a peephole right there, surrounded by glow tape. And they can slam that down and scream at guests walking by. And then they can get them from the other side when the guests come around this corner. And then they go into this hallway where you have more of this fishing line cobwebbing. And this becomes our strobe hallway. So even though you're in total darkness, the effects will trigger on and you'll have some strobes going off, which disorientates you some more. You see the shadows of some of the spiders, and you're wondering really what else is in here with you. Wall knockers, other effects, actors whispering in your ear. That soundtrack, which is actually me and my friend Seymour whispering in their ear, pre-recorded. And it's just a great, you're not sure what's around the next corner in this attraction.
I warned all of you! You cannot separate the pure symbiotic touch we have with nature!
One of the other fan-favorite attractions is the Verdict of Sorcery. This 3-person skit puts you right in the thick of a Salem witch hunt and execution. Kevin Flynn plays the evil judge out to put an end to Abigail Dickinson. He's been with Six Flags New England for a year and a half. As an actor, he loves the opportunity to play different roles.
I love being able to go from being a sadistic, evil judge to being a dumb bandit or dancing with Daffy Duck. There's so many different things I can do while I'm at the park.
If going outside the realm of four walls like Midnight Mansion is your thing, then the Aftermath, Zombies Revenge, and Wicked Woods are for you. The Aftermath, which is new to Six Flags New England, is a walk through a nature refuge that just happens to be overrun with zombies. Once again, here is Eric Boucher.
It's really interesting how we came up with this over the course of the summer. We actually started planning this back in March. And we wanted to come up with a new theme, entirely different, that the guests haven't seen here before. And we decided to do kind of a zombie apocalypse inspired by The Walking Dead or like a video game feel. The storyline here is it's an old state park that's been taken over by a zombie infestation. And all these zombie hunters are now the hunted. And we send our guests in as kind of a search and recovery team. So the first thing we do is we head here into the drop zone, and every actor in this attraction plays a zombie. Everybody is infected. The guests are the only one who is not. So you're being hunted constantly by these zombies. They might be former park rangers, they might be campers, and they're coming at you from all different directions. Also throughout the attraction, we have, same thing like our other attractions, we have some effects that are automated through sensors. This kind of gives you a machine gun air effect. We have wall knockers like you saw in Total Darkness. Right now, remember, the lighting isn't on, so you guys are getting a real special sneak peek behind the scenes. We really use the darkness to our benefit. And then the guests end up going down the road here. And our maintenance team did a fantastic job this year transforming all these buildings from other attractions from throughout the park. This used to actually be an admission booth, toll booth in our parking lot. They brought it down here, put a whole new facing on it, and they created a toll booth down here and a visitor center to Hell's Gate Park. And this is our sign shop, our art department here. They did a fantastic job creating a lot of this artwork and scenery custom here at the park. And we light this mostly with floodlights, very strategically placed. Right now you are seeing everything. You can actually see through the whole woods. The guests normally wouldn't see that at all. You guys get to see it, and you can see that this has a lot of switchbacks through it. So the zombies can actually cross back and forth and pop out from all different directions. As you go through Camp Killia, you see that we have a quicksand pit, the old Lake Take-A-Dip, and for Riverside Park, Six Flags New England fans, it's a nod to a man-made lake that was actually here in, I believe, the 1940s. And you go through this quicksand, and right now what I'm walking on is actually mattresses buried into the dirt, which kind of gives you a little bit of springiness as guests walk through. And they realize something's a little bit off. It's just mattresses. We put a sheet of plywood over it and cover it with wood chips. We have these great props from our maintenance team and left over in some other shows that we reincorporate into this attraction. So next up we have the ranger station. In our zombie takeover here, this sort of serves as a makeshift triage. Any victims are brought here. We have sound effects running in here of radio transmissions and static. So you can see, and we actually created these custom maps of, this is actually a real map of the Grove area where the attraction is that we doctored up. And you'll have a few actors in here also. Some might be rangers who have been recently infected. Some might be some victims who have been recently put into triage. And all these shredded curtains act as great distractions too. From the ranger station, you head into the old maintenance shop, which has become a temporary morgue, where they're just dumping the bodies as they collect them. And in here you'll find a zombie with a chainsaw. The zombie with a chainsaw will chase you all through here into the cooler. And this is one of the few indoor locations in this wooded attraction. They have to make their way through these body bags. There's fog in here, there's UV lighting in here, and that chainsaw actor can come through any one of these secret passages at any time.
If you haven't had enough fright in the dark and creepy woods, The Wicked Woods takes you on a terror trip through Happy Valley. For the last time, here is Eric Boucher.
This trail has existed for several years here at the park, but this year we actually revamped a few scenes, moved some scenes around, and added a lot of new things to it to make it new for our guests. This is a trip through Happy Valley, a town forgotten in the middle of nowhere. So you'll meet crazy people in the insane asylum and the toxic dump, some zombies who have risen from the graves, which is a little different than the zombies who are on a rampage at the aftermath. So let's take a tour of Happy Valley. So here we are in the Happy Valley Cemetery. Some of the souls are coming to life. They're having a hard time resting because visitors are coming back to Happy Valley. A lot of the scenery you see here was custom made for our park and or by our park. Some of these gravestones are made of styrofoam, some are made of wood, some are made of real granite. We have a few zombies lugging around here, usually with chains. And throughout this graveyard, you can see very thin pipes, and we pump mist into here, which is, for a scene like this, is actually more powerful than fog, because it'll just give you that low-lying graveyard effect. Okay, we're here in the catacombs. That kind of leads you out of the cemetery. We'll have a few actors in here playing mummies. They might pop out of some of their coffins. We also have a few animatronic things that are triggered off by sensors built into the walls, such as this demon, and we have the air compressor right there behind him. And all this blackout cloth lets the monsters zig in and out to scare the same group of guests multiple times. Some camo netting up above, which will keep some of the fog in here. We have strobe lights. And every scene in the Wicked Woods has an individual character that's specific to that scene. So you don't do as much crossover into the other scenes. So we're telling a story scene by scene, area by area throughout the town. This here is the cornfields in Happy Valley on our farm stand coming up. We reconfigured this year to have more zigging and zagging and tighter areas. And we have actors who we train in ghoul school to move like scarecrows and to act like a scarecrow and then kind of like limber around like scarecrows as if their bodies were just stuffed full of hay in a very kind of maniacal way. So the actors will zip in and out, and the actors, and the guests also zag in and around these corn areas. And the last part of this scene is the fruit stand, the farm stand. And something our staff does is we'll bring in old rotted fruit from home or from our lunch, and we'll just start collecting it here. So this is real rancid food, real rotten food, and through the course of the season, it will produce a pretty strong stench that sometimes gets guests to gag. So it's one of those little aroma tricks that we do here at Six Flags. Okay, this is the mine shaft. This has been a great staple in Happy Valley for many years in the Wicked Woods. As you go in here, the ground's a little uneasy. We pump this carport essentially full of fog and a strobe light that disorientates you. And we have an actor in here that may or may not have a chainsaw. They probably have a chainsaw. And they're gonna come at you. Now the cool thing is because the way we have the lighting in here, the actor can see the guests clearly, but the guests can't see where they're walking, but they hear a chainsaw coming towards them. This is the Happy Valley Insane Asylum, or sanitarium. We have Dr. Blythe in here who's trying to keep the inmates in check. Some of them are real actors, some of them are animatronic actors that work from electronics. And we have the actors zipping in and out of here, bouncing off the walls, just being annoying and obnoxious as could possibly be, as the doctor is trying to keep them under control and probably get you to stay with them. One of the last major scenes here in the Wicked Woods is the Happy Valley Power Plant. In here we have all these barrels, and they're painted in a fluorescent paint with lots of black light, so all these barrels will glow. And the actors are zigging and zagging all around here, banging on these things with rubber mallets or broken off hoses. And the guests are trying to make their way through this maze barrel. Once again, the actors have lots of opportunity to cut through. They know all their shortcuts, so they can scare the same group multiple times in here. And then the outer parts of the toxic dump, you see more barrels, more pipes, and actually some of these things are recycled from old rides. Some of these are from rides from the Riverside days here at Six Flags, and some of these pieces are from old water slides that we recycled to be pipes here in the toxic dump. Just give you that larger-than-life scenery that you can't find anywhere else.
One thing we learned during our day in the life at Six Flags New England is that you don't have to just be on the rides to get the scare of your life. I'm Alicia Brandt for A Day in the Life.
We want to thank Six Flags President John Winkler, Peter Shannon, Malta Vargas, Frank Maturo, Kevin Flynn, and John York. And a special thanks, of course, goes out to Eric Boucher and Jennifer McGrath. You guys were the best. Now, if any of you out there felt badly that Alicia stole this episode from me, don't worry, I had a little fun too.
I present to you, my fellow righteous peoples, the beheading of the witch, Alicia. Dan, do the deed.
Oh, relax, she's fine. Believe me, it was her that I saw eating an entire funnel cake sundae with Vanessa Galena. If you have any ideas for future episodes of our show, feel free to contact us by email. And to find out more about WMCT-TV, you can visit us on the web. I'm Dan Ginden. We'll see you next time.